All right, Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up because we've got some major free agency news. You know how critical this time of year is, right? The moves made in free agency can make or break a season, and the Chiefs are not playing around. If you're serious about staying ahead of the game, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're about to break it all down. So what's the big headline? Well, reports just dropped that the Chiefs are all in on signing left tackle Ronnie Stanley from the Ravens. Yeah, you heard that right. According to Nate Taylor from The Athletic, Kansas City is making some serious financial moves to clear cap space, and Stanley is at the top of their wish list. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why go after Stanley? What about Joe Thuney? Well, here's the deal. Thuney did everything the Chiefs asked of him, but the front office is looking to reshape the offensive line. The plan? Extend Trey Smith and invest heavily in protecting Patrick Mahomes' blindside. And I'll be real, left tackle has been a weak spot for way too long. Of course, this move won't be cheap. The projection? 2 years, $41.3 million. That's a hefty price tag. But think about it. How many more years do you want Mahomes running for his life? The Chiefs know they have to make this investment. It's like taking medicine you hate. You don't want to do it, but you have to if you want to get better. But hey, I want to hear from you. Do you think signing Stanley is the right move? Drop a comment below. Type S for sign or P for pass. Let's see where the fan base stands on this one. And if you think this is just the beginning, you're absolutely right. Because next up, we're breaking down exactly who Ronnie Stanley is and why the Chiefs are betting big on him. Alright, so maybe you're wondering, who exactly is Ronnie Stanley and why are the Chiefs willing to invest big money in him? Let's break it down. Stanley isn't just some random free agent. He's a former first-round pick out of Notre Dame. Selected 6th overall in the 2016 NFL draft by the Baltimore Ravens. And when he's healthy, this guy is an absolute force at left tackle. His best season, 2019. That year, Stanley was named a first-team All-Pro and earned his first Pro Bowl selection. He was one of the best pass-blocking tackles in the entire league, protecting Lamar Jackson during his MVP campaign. The guy was dominant. But here's the thing, injuries derailed his career for a few years. Ankle issues kept him off the field in 2020 and 2021, and it took him a while to return to form. That's why some people are skeptical about this move. Now, fast forward to 2024, and Stanley put together a massive bounce-back season. He started all 17 games for the Ravens, proving he could stay healthy again. And the numbers, solid. Let's talk about his Pro Football Focus, PFF grades. Overall grade, 71.0, solid. Pass blocking grade, 79.6, elite. Run blocking grade, 63.4. Not great, but serviceable. And here's why that. Pass blocking grade is so important. Patrick Mahomes needs protection. If you have to choose between an elite pass blocker or an elite run blocker, you take the guy who keeps Mahomes upright every single time. Of course, Stanley isn't perfect. He still gave up 2 sacks and was flagged 13 times for penalties in 2024. That's something the Chiefs will need to clean up. But overall, he's an experienced, battle-tested left tackle who could finally bring stability to a position the Chiefs have struggled to fill. So let me ask you this. Do you remember any standout plays from Stanley's career? Maybe a moment that proves he's worth the investment? Drop a comment below. Now, speaking of investment, let's take a deeper look at how Stanley fits into the Chiefs' offensive line and whether he can finally solve this long-standing problem. Alright, let's get real for a second. Left tackle has been a mess for the Chiefs ever since Eric Fisher left. And if you've been watching this team closely, you know exactly what I'm talking about. After Fisher, Kansas City tried to make it work with Orlando Brown Jr., who ironically also came from the Ravens, but let's be honest, he never quite lived up to expectations. Then last season, the Chiefs had to get creative with the position, even moving Joe Thuney over at times. And while Thuney is an absolute stud at left guard, asking him to handle left tackle full-time, not ideal. That's where Ronnie Stanley comes in. If the Chiefs can sign him, it finally gives them a true left tackle to anchor the line. And that's a big deal. Why is this move so important? Experience. Stanley has played 104 career games and knows what it takes to protect elite quarterbacks. Consistency. When healthy, he's a top-tier pass blocker, exactly what Mahomes needs. Better balance. The Chiefs need a left tackle who isn't a liability in the run game, but still specializes in protecting the QB. Of course, this move isn't cheap. A projected 2-year, $41.3 million. Contract is a big investment, but what's the alternative? Keep rolling with backup level guys? Gamble on a rookie at pick 31 in the draft? If you're Brett Veach, you gotta ask yourself, what's the bigger risk? Now, let's turn it over to you. What do you think? Is Ronnie Stanley worth the investment? Vote in the comments, S for sign, lock him in, protect Mahomes, and go all in on another Super Bowl run. P for pass. Too risky. Look for another option. Whatever you choose, this decision will impact the Chiefs' Super Bowl hopes. But there's still one major factor we need to consider before Veach pulls the trigger. Is the risk worth the reward? Let's break it down. Alright, let's talk about the biggest concern with Ronnie Stanley: injuries. There's no way around it. This guy has missed a lot of time over the years. From 2020 to 2022, he played in just 18 games total. That's less than a full season across 3 years. And for a team like the Chiefs looking to win now, that's a real gamble. Another issue: penalties. Stanley was flagged 13 times last season. And when you pair that with Jawan Taylor's struggles on the right side, it's fair to wonder if the Chiefs would be creating more problems than they solve. But here's the thing, what's the alternative? Some people might say, just draft a left tackle. But let's be real, picking at 31st overall isn't a great spot to land an elite tackle. The best ones will likely be off the board. The Chiefs could take a chance on a rookie, but that comes with its own risks. Relying on a young, unproven player to protect Mahomes' blind side in a Super Bowl or bust season. That's a huge gamble. That's why signing Stanley makes sense despite the risks. He's a proven left tackle, and even if he's not perfect, he's a massive upgrade over the revolving door Kansas City has had at the position. So here's the question. If you were Brett Veach, would you take the risk? Drop your opinion in the comments. Yes, it's a gamble, but it's the best move available. No, too risky, find another solution. At the end of the day, the Chiefs have a tough decision to make. And that brings us to the next big question. What happens next? Let's talk about the path forward. So, where do the Chiefs go from here? Well, one thing is clear, they're making moves to free up cap space for a big signing. Whether that ends up being Ronnie Stanley or another top free agent, Kansas City isn't sitting back and waiting. With Joe Thuney's contract situation, the potential restructuring of other deals, and a Super Bowl window wide open, Brett Veach knows he has to make a move that improves this roster right now. What to expect in the coming weeks? The Chiefs will continue clearing cap space, meaning some tough roster decisions could be on the way. Free agency negotiations will heat up, and we'll see if Stanley is truly the guy they go all in on. The NFL draft is another factor, but with pick 31, they might not find a reliable left tackle. So let's wrap this up. If the Chiefs sign Ronnie Stanley, they finally get a real solution at left tackle. If they don't, they'll have to scramble to find another answer. Either way, this is a crucial moment for Kansas City's Super Bowl chances. Final question for you. If the Chiefs don't sign Stanley, who should they go after instead? Drop your picks in the comments. And of course, if you want to stay ahead of every move, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll be here, breaking down every move, every rumor, and every Chiefs headline. Thanks for watching, Go Chiefs, and we'll see you in the next one.